Buying real estate with €0 in the bank is possible. That's at least what this guy with the Rolex and the red sports car is saying, or this other guy with free money emojis in the title. Jokes aside, how realistic is it? Here in Germany, to buy a property with absolutely no money in the bank, it is possible. Somewhat. And it's quite easy actually. You just need to know what you're doing. And of course, it gets easier the more money you have. You gotta have money to make money. So let's talk about the best way to invest in real estate, no matter how much money you have, in this Perfinex real estate video. If you really have €0 in the bank right now and want to invest in real estate, I hate to break it to you, but you need to get money from somewhere. Generally speaking, it is possible to finance more than 100% of the property value with a bank, so that the bank pays all the closing costs for you as well, but not if you have absolutely no savings at all. Here's a screenshot of a financing that we did just last month, which I myself didn't think was possible, to be honest. We financed for a client almost 174% of the property value, an insane amount, which is by far the highest we have ever done. And this will probably be a record that stands for a very long time. How did we do it? It's a couple where both make more than 100k in salary, they have investments of a couple of €100,000, and the property they bought, which they got from us by the way, is absolutely top notch. And then it's easy. You just need to convince the bank that we have an investor here that wants the highest return possible by investing the least amount of money himself. And the bank agreed to finance the property, the closing costs, the renovation, and the furniture on top. I still can't believe it. What can we learn from this? If you're in the €0 in the bank category, financing more than 100% is not gonna work. I know you want it to work. I know some gurus on social media sell you the dream that it's possible, but it's not. But don't be sad. If you're in this category, here's some other options for you. Try to get a loan for at least the closing costs from somewhere. Your family, for example. Maybe they can and want to support you in improving your financial future. We also have clients that get loans from their employer with very attractive interest rates. Maybe that's possible for you. Or maybe the seller of the property is willing to make an agreement with you. He can give you a seller loan, and you would be surprised how many sellers are willing to do this because they have no idea what to do with the money anyway if you will pay them outright. All of this works very easily here in Germany. You pay whoever gave you the loan some interest, and he gets their security in the land registry. No issues if everyone agrees. Another idea, instead of negotiating the property price with the seller, make him pay for the closing costs. You finance 100% of the property value with the bank, seller pays the closing costs, the property is yours, and you didn't invest €1 of your own money. And one last tip, because we do this with some of you viewers, if you have access to absolutely sick properties, I'm talking top notch here, but you don't have the money to buy them, send them over to us. And if we buy them, you'll get a tipster commission. Send them to mail@perfinex.de, but please no ImmoScout properties. They will not be good enough anyway. Let's say you have 5k sitting in the bank ready to invest in real estate. How do you do it? It's still very difficult, to be honest. I know there are these ImmoScout properties for less than €100,000 that some of you find very appealing for whichever reason that is beyond me, but buying them is next to impossible. And here's why. The average mortgage amount in Germany as of April of this year is almost €300,000. If you finance this with a bank with a, let's say, 4% interest rate, the bank will make almost €200,000 in interest until you paid back your mortgage. Fully tax deductible for real estate investors, not tax deductible for homeowners, by the way. If you get a €100,000 mortgage, the bank will make 65k only for literally the same amount of work they have, because they have to check the property in detail and your personal financial situation in detail. So let me ask you, if you were the bank, would you finance these small mortgages if you make very little money with it? Probably not. And that's why my personal tip for you is Save just a little bit more money than what you already have. And if you need some help with that, our videos will help you. Our side hustle video from last week, for example, will help you earn more so you can save more. Now with 10,000 euro in the bank, it gets interesting because now you can buy your first property for real. You can probably not afford this mega mansion here in Munich for almost 25 million euro, but you can buy your very own small property. Hey, everyone started small at some point. Here's a screenshot of one of our properties worth 156,000 euros that you can buy with an investment of only 8,000 euros if you just cover the closing costs and finance 100% with the bank. If you're interested, this property and others can be found on perfinex.de/properties. You might not get the best interest rate possible if you finance 100% of the property value, but again, real estate investors don't really care because interest is tax deductible anyway. Your equity is the by far more valuable resource than 0.1% more interest rate. And that's why most of our clients decide to go for 100% financing if the property and their personal financial situation allows it. If you have 25,000 in the bank, a down payment would be possible if you really want to get the lowest interest rate possible. There's no right or wrong if you ask me. It all comes down to your personal real estate investment strategy. Here's the 156,000 euro property from earlier again to make this example. If you buy the property with no down payment, 8,000 euro investment, but you will be slightly cash flow negative. 70 euros a month is not a lot, of course, given that you just financed more than 150,000 euros, but still slightly negative. If you make a 10% down payment and invest your almost 25,000 into the property, you will be cash flow positive from day one. Now the question is this more than 15,000 euro investment worth the 83 euro cash flow per month? Not if you ask me. I'd rather have 15,600 euro now than 83 euros a month going forward, especially since you have to pay taxes if you're cash flow positive, while you get tax benefits if you're cash flow negative. But everyone can answer this question however they like it. And with 25,000 euro in the bank, you can afford a down payment if you really want to make one. With double the money, 50k in the bank, real estate gets really interesting and really tax efficient at the same time. My assumption, if you have 50k laying around, is that you also have a really good salary with more than 67,000 as a single person or more than 134,000 as a married couple. If so, you are in the 42% income tax bracket. Paying taxes is not fun, I get it, but doing tax deductible stuff is fun if you get a 42% tax benefit for everything that you do. We made this example in the 7 real estate tax tricks video a couple of weeks ago. If you buy a new construction, which usually costs a little more, no tax deductions for you, my friend. If you buy an existing building and renovate it, these renovation costs can give you an immediate 42% tax benefit if you do it right. Existing properties can be so much more tax efficient than new constructions. We're talking about tens of thousands of euros here, which will basically help you to buy another property next year without investing any of your own money. Let's say you invest 20k for renovations, which are immediately tax deductible with 42%. When you file your taxes, you get 8,400 euro, 42% of 20,000 from Finanzamt. This is more than what we need for the Unterhaching property we talked about earlier. So when you invest in real estate the right way this year, you don't have to invest a single euro of your own money to buy a property next year. Isn't that awesome? Before we come to the last category, a whole bag of money. Let's say you have 100k laying around because you just got a big bonus or a golden handshake or something. Please don't invest all in one single property. If this is not the first video you watch from us, you probably heard me say this before once or twice. Diversification is key to investment success. So please spread your risk and buy different properties, different types, different location, different tenants. You have a much higher probability to succeed financially if you spread your risk. And of course, you're a lot more flexible because you can sell one property but keep the other if you want. And lastly, you all waited for it. We all certainly wait for that amount of money on our bank accounts, am I right? 1 million euro. This is where it starts to get interesting to invest in real estate with a company instead of doing it as a private person. Why? Because a company can pay as low as 15% taxes on rental income, while you have to pay up to 42% as a private person. But to make that tax benefit worth it, you need a real estate portfolio somewhere in the millions. Otherwise, the costs for the company are much higher than the tax benefits. So definitely start as a private person, and then if everything goes according to plan, start selling your properties completely tax-free to your own real estate company after 10 years. And if we can help you with that, let us know by booking a free meeting with us right here. I wish you all the success possible, and I'll see you in the next one.